No first aid kit on hand? No problem when you have these creative tips.No first aid kit on hand. No problem when you have these creative tips. Photo credit okolaa. Adobe StockElise Sole is a New Yorker living in Los Angeles. She's been an editor at Yahoo, Women's Health, Redbook, and Marie Claire, and has written for publications including Glamour, Cosmopolitan, AOL, and more. Accidents can happen quickly, and if you're on a playground, in the wilderness, or home alone, you may not have access to proper first aid. And while there's no true substitute for expert medical care in serious situations, these healing shortcuts can be temporary and sometimes life-saving solutions. Whether it's a pair of stilettos or sturdy hiking boots, new shoes are bound to give you blisters. Head them off at the pass by taping a strip of duct tape to your hot spots, recommends Juanita Allen Kingsley, Wilderness EMT. The tape will provide a sturdy barrier of protection against chafing. If the idea of poking yourself with a pair of tweezers sounds painful, try a gentler method for removing a splinter. Squeeze a drop of Elmer's glue on and around the area and let it dry for about 30 minutes, says Kingsley. Once it's dry, gently peel it off as you would a strip of wax. The glue will stick to the splinter, but not your skin. Alton.You, a disaster and epidemic preparedness expert and author of the Survival Medicine Handbook, offers another technique. Fill a wide-brim bottle or jar with very hot water and press the splintered area against the mouth of jar. The moisture loosens it and the bottle creates suction. Don't let bee stings bum you out. Pads pull double duty as feminine protection and a compressor bandage, says Kingsley. They're perfect for absorbing blood and a good way to economize the number of items in your bag. Plus, they're a more sterile option than reaching for the nearest towel if you don't have gauze on hand. Soak a t-shirt in 1 part vinegar, any type will work, and 1 part cool water. Vinegar is thought to balance the pH in the body, and the acetic acid in it, used in the synthesis of aspirin, helps relieve pain and itching in mild sunburns, says Alton. You can also freeze aloe vera in ice cube trays and rub them on your skin. This does burn, says Alton, but it will stop the bleeding. That's a fair trade-off for areas that tend to bleed a lot, like cuts on the fingers. Cayenne pepper contains a compound called capsaicin, which gives the pepper its kick that acts as a pain reliever when applied to the surface of the skin, he adds. Scald your mouth on 2 hot coffee. Pour a small spoonful of sugar on your tongue and let it melt in your mouth. The glucose in sugar helps relieve the pain And it's probably the only time you'll be encouraged to eat straight sugar. If you have a sprain and you need a cooling pack, best for early treatment, freeze a bag of 1 part rubbing alcohol and 3 parts water. It won't freeze completely, but it will do the job, says Alton.For heat packs, useful for the first 24 to 48 hours to reduce stiffness. Pour rice in a sock and microwave it for about 20 seconds or so. The rice holds the heat and the sock will conform to any area on the body. Here's a trick used in emergency rooms in countries that can't afford expensive medical glues. Apply super glue to lacerations that separate the edges of the skin and cause minor bleeding, paper cuts, shaving nicks. Apply a dab of super glue and let it dry, says Alton. The glue will fall off on its own. Okay, we don't actually expect anyone to do this, but it's pretty cool. This shouldn't be your go-to method, but there is evidence that pressing raw bacon on the inside of your nostril can stop bleeding, says Kingsley. There are clotting factors in pork, and the salt is a desiccant, so it dries out the area. In fact, doctors in Michigan won a Nobel Prize in 2014 for the idea. Share your first aid tricks with us in the comments.